Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsy69 and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Chinese Tier 9, the WZ-120. Now we've had a look at the 121, the Tier 10 Chinese medium tank, and now we're going to have a look at the Tier 9. This is probably the worst Tier 9 in the game. It's probably the worst Tier 9 in the game. It sucks. But finally, Wargaming have decided to buff it. It really did need a buff. It was really poor, and they have buffed it quite a bit, or they buffed it a little bit. The reload time and the aim time. So the DPM is now to 1,850, which isn't bad. The reload time 8.42. It's got 220 millimeters of pen on the AP, 280 on your heat, and 68 on your HE. It is a 400 alpha shot. It only has 3 degrees of gun depression, which is the worst thing. I mean, they buffed the reload time and they buffed the aim time. Just give it another 2 degrees of gun depression, because 3 degrees is one of the most poorest in the game. It's the worst, one of the worst in the game for gun depression. And that is where it really does suck, if you ask me. And I don't know why anyone would want to play this tank when there is so many other medium tanks. I mean, the T-54, the Patton, which is okay, the Leopard PTA. There is loads of tanks in Tier 9 that are just way better than this. The AMX Proto, if you've got that. But they have buffed it. At least they've buffed it. I don't think it's buffed enough. I mean, we do have a few battles here that show that it's quite strong, and it can be strong. It's got a nice turret and it can bounce, but you can't really put that turret to good use. If you're hull down, most of the positions that you go in will need a little bit of gun depression to actually use that turret effectively. Where you've only got 3 degrees of gun depression, to get that shot off, if you're hull down, to get that shot off, most likely you're going to have to expose your hull, which isn't so strong as your turret. So I think the buff was welcome. The buff was definitely welcome, but I don't think they've buffed it enough. I don't think now we're going to see. I mean, we are going to see if the stats change on the tank. It's a tank that you don't really see a lot, the WZ-120, and maybe that is because it's just not a good tank. It really isn't that great of a tank compared to all the other mediums around its tier. Now in Tier 8, of course, you can have a really good game with that 400 alpha shot, and with the reduced reload time, you can have a good battle. Against Tier 10, you will struggle. I mean, your penetration isn't the greatest against these Tier 10s, which we will show you again the next battle, where the player does really struggle. I mean, some of it was human error, but the penetration just isn't the greatest at all. So this battle here, I mean, we managed to track at T-54 lightweight there. We've done 3.4k damage. It's nothing special, and the T-54 lightweight is going to get taken out, and it just leaves the T-32. So we are losing on supremacy points, but we do have 2 caps. Now I love the 121. I absolutely love the 121. I don't think it needed the 420 alpha at all. It had a reload buff not so long ago, and it's just been buffed and buffed and buffed, where this has just been left alone, and this is probably the first time it's actually been buffed. However, I would still like to see the buff on the gun depression. I'd still like to see a little bit more gun depression, because just 3 degrees is just bad. That battle, you can see we got nearly 4k damage. It was a first class, so it's quite easy to ace, because not many people are playing it, or if they are playing it, they're not doing that well. This battle, we are watching a Kyle Victor Dorian. We're going to call him Kyle, and he has a great battle, but he does make errors, and I don't know if it's because he was panicking, but we will see. So this side of the map, Falls Creek, no one has come. It is supremacy mode. So the first thing I would have gone and done is gone to Cap A. But what he's decided to do, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's supremacy, and there's certain ways to play supremacy, and a lot of people tend to forget that. They play it as a normal mode. And just like they're doing here, I mean, the enemy have done the same. They've all passed C, and they are rushing towards the green base, and no one wants to cap C. just as you think the grill might cap, no, he is gone over as well, and just no one wants to cap. So I would have already capped. I would have already capped A, but I understand why he's not doing it. I totally understand why he's not doing it, because the reds pushed, and he has got some side shots into them as they are pushing the bridge, or just underneath the bridge, just like we have here, the E3. And these shots are actually going to come vital towards the end of the game. So at the moment, his team are 2 tanks down, 3 tanks down against 2. Now, don't shoot heat into the track of it, E100. And he does that a lot, to be honest. And I don't know if he didn't do it on purpose. I mean, the E100, I suppose, did turn a little bit. But he's now going back to help his team, which is the perfect thing to do. I mean, there's no point going for a tank on your own, a full hit point tank, when you might as well just help your team. He accidentally blocked that T62 there. He didn't mean to do it. And again, he missed that shot on the grill, which could have been a vital shot. He needed to get that shot. Luckily, the grill doesn't take advantage of that ram on the leopard, and he doesn't manage to kill the leopard, and he is taken out of the game. So it's now 3 against 3. However, they do have a full hit point E100 and a full hit point E3 to deal with, and now it is a 2 versus 2. One of these leopard 1 is very low hit points, so it's going to be very hard to actually come back from this and pick up a win. The leopard 1 is he's stuck. There is nothing the leopard 1 can do, and actually he stays alive longer than I expected. I mean, he's still alive now. The E100 is coming from one side, and the E3 is pretty much in front of him, but well, now behind him. He does manage to get behind again. He does panic there. He tries to go for the HE, which, I mean, he gets very lucky with the fire and ends up doing 578 damage. And I do like what he's doing here. He is getting protected, and he's very lucky with the HE shot there. And I would have waited. They both shot. They're both on a long reload. Just wait there. But unfortunately, because he tried running away, he did miss that shot, the kill shot on that E3. These two tanks have got long reloads. He could have easily taken out the E3. However, the leopard takes out the E3. The E100 takes out the leopard, and now he is just rushing in. The E100 is on a long reload, and luckily for him, the E100 is absolutely full health, and he is in the middle of a map. Absolutely, he can't do nothing at all. So he's got 2,300 hit points just to sort through. He needs to just circle him long enough for to get that hit point. And with the reload, it does, I mean, he can do it a lot quicker than he used to do. But the E100, there's nothing he can do. He didn't even attempt to go to the hill where he is now, or go to a building that he's pretty close to, or even one of the dead tanks. He just wanted to turn in the open, and Kyle is just loving this. 3 damage. He is going to miss a couple of shots here, because just as he shoots, the E100 is going to turn, and he does get away with it, to be honest. He does get away with the win. He's going to wait again. He gets another bounce. He needs to pay more attention. He needs to just stop, focus, and relax. And that is exactly what he does for the kill. So very good play, or very good battle there, Kyle. Still 5.9k damage. A remarkable job. 1,529 base XP. So next up, we have another battle. This is Center. We're going to call him Center. We're going to call him Cent. And he is on the new Bay map. And he has a blinder of a battle. Very, very good battle. And he's going to push the bridge. He's going to push the bridge. And already there is the Rev. And there will be a couple or other medium tanks that will be spotted here. So a nice shot there on the Rev. Don't know how that hit, but it did hit. And so now the Rev's already lost half his hit points. It is a tier 8 game, and as I've said, this in a tier 8 is actually a pretty good tank. With the 400 alpha, you can really deal damage to the enemy, the lower tier tanks. Now, the Leopard PT8 and the Rev are not managing to hold the bridge, and there's quite a lot of tanks around this area. If you look at the minimap, look at the mini-map, you just probably missed it. Round by the cap, there was about three, there was, I think, the 3 heavies that were spotted. So these mediums now are on their own, and if they rush the mediums, they can really take them out pretty quickly. The Revs are one shot, the Leopards are one shot, and he just really needs to be careful of that Super Persian, who has now damaged his ammo rack, which is such a shame because he's now on like a 13 or 14 second reload. So he can't do nothing at the moment, or well, 14-second reload. There's not much he can do at the moment. He has to pay attention to his shots. He's used his med kits, repair kits, sorry, and he has to make every shot count, because if he misses, he's then on a 13-14-second reload. So the Super Persian did decide to come up, but again, the gun depression on this tank, is he going to? No, he doesn't take advantage of the Super Persian poking up, and he still needs to wait 30 seconds for his repair kit, and so he's going to go face hugging, which is the best option. And as I've said before, it's got a nice turret, this tank, and you can really get bounces. He needs to take out the Super Persian now. He's been brought down to 381 hit points, and it's now 3 against 4. The pattern on his team has taken out, so it's now 3 against 4. And in 5 seconds, he's finally going to have his proper reload. So he needs to now, all 4 tanks on the enemy team are around this area. So he gets a nice 536 XP into the waffle, and he has finally used his repair kit. Gets a nice 2 bounces there. Very, very lucky indeed. But the IS-5 takes out the Leopard, so it's now just a 2 versus 4. Again, another HE there into the waffle, bringing him down to a 1-shot. The Conquerors are 1-shot, but there's still loads of hit points to get through, and he is a 1-shot. So not sure why the waffle was laughing there, and it is going to come back and bite him in the bottom. And I'm not sure why the Conqueror shot there as well. So there goes the waffle, haha, there goes the Conqueror, and it now just leaves 2 versus 2. 2 mediums versus 2 heavies, which is the T-34 and the IS-5. So he still needs to be careful. He's trying to find the T-34. He wasn't sure where the T-34 is, but then he comes there in the bridge, so he can now push on the IS-5, who is heading towards the pattern. They need to work together. Luckily, the IS-5 misses there, so the IS-5, he now knows he can get another shot on the IS-5. If the pattern gets a shot as well, which he is, they can clear him, and it just now leaves 2 versus 1. The T-34 is still full hit points, and he can still win. The T-34 can easily win if he can just go and take out the WZ-120 first, and he can deal with the pattern after. But he is going to make an error. He is going to make an error, and as you can see here, he's on the bridge. The 120 is on the bridge. Sense on the bridge. Nice high roll there at 500, and he does get the shot onto the pattern, but now the pattern is a 1-shot, and he can only look at 1 tank. He can only look at 1 tank, so Scent gets another shot there. He misses the shot on the pattern, and just look at this gun depression. He just can't do it, and luckily he does get the HE right on the top of the turret. So very, very well played, Scent. And in the right hands, this tank can actually be very good. When you're top tier, it can be very, very good. But I don't think they've buffed it enough. It just needs, for me, just a little bit more gun depression, and then it will be a superb tank. I hope you watched. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'm Meadsy69, and I'll catch you soon.